Okay, good afternoon once again for those just joining us. Here we are talking about introduction to web security. And we already said what it means, why we chose it particularly out of the different sections or sectors of cybersecurity. Now, I was talking about one key reason why most people go into it or why people like it, why people enjoy SQL hacking, which is penetration testing. And that aspect of penetration testing, we have web security. Yeah. So based on that, like one is very popular. Two, we can make money out of it. And I'm sure, like, let me see, more than 50% of us of those that are here, we're actually here because we want to make money out of it. We want to make a living out of it. We enjoy doing it. That's the assumption. But aside the enjoyment, we still want to make something decent out of it or work in a reputable organization. So I'm just trying to tell you that you can make money via various bug bounty sites. And we already know what bug bounty is. I explained it earlier on. Looking for vulnerabilities, looking for bugs whereby you get paid. You submit them. Nobody's asking you to exploit them. Submit them and you get paid. So we can come here and look for various various bug bounty sites. This is One, this is bug crowd, the one we're talking about before. Yeah, yes, we are, and this one is very, very common. Visit this one and see what they have for us. One is actually very, very common. And I told you the disadvantage of it. Disadvantage is that sometimes if you are a newbie in cybersecurity, it kind of gets very difficult for you, right? So during your free time, you can always through all this, go through all this yourself. You can navigate through the site so that you can know what is there for you. So now let's go back. What is web security? Now, sorry, I'm not going to be using any this thing for you. I'm not going to be in any slide for you. It's just going to be what you're seeing on the screen. We are doing it together. What is web security? Can someone just put me through? You don't need to say what's in any textbook or website. Just tell me what you understand by it. It's like very, very simple. What do you understand by web security? Okay, anybody? Please raise your hand if you want to just explain what, just define this. But no, I'm not going to call you. I won't call another person. Any other person? Where are others in this class now? Feel like calling just anybody. Okay, Toby Sam. What is web security? What do you understand by it? Unmute your mic and speak. Toby Sam. Sally, what do you understand by web security?
Yes, for me, web security is, I can say, is a kind of a method that we use in protecting our data, you know, from unauthorized access.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. There's something that is important that you did not mention. There's something that is important that you did not mention.
Okay. It protect our information.
Define it again.
Okay. Web security is a method,
Okay.
so that's a process that we follow to protect our information, our data from unauthorized access or something.
Okay. Yeah, that's solid anyways. Can someone tell me that thing that is missing? It's missing something that is very key. Kenshin, let me hear. Can you tell me something that is missing in his definition? Kenshin, she's not there. John, what? Okay, John, what did he miss? Please unmute your mic if you want to talk. Wizard.
All right. Web security is just refers to the process whereby protection of websites, application from either cyber attack or unauthorized access.
Yeah, thank you. It's just that word. No, no, it's just that word I'm looking for. That was the word Sally you failed to mention. That website, that's our key focus. Now, why are we both of you are correct? Sally, what you said is correct. But I needed you to mention the word website, web application, because that is what is very, very important. You will notice now at the very beginning of our class, some persons will ask, sir, is it necessary to is it necessary to learn cybersecurity? Is it necessary to learn Python? Is it necessary to learn programming language before delving into cybersecurity? I'll be like, please, if your hands are up, you can put them all down, please. Thank you. Put them all down. So they will ask, like, is it necessary to learn this thing? I'll be like, it's not like compulsory, like 100% compulsory. But then having the knowledge would give you an edge. Let me give you a very quick example. Take for example now, you're just looking at this page. You're looking at this page here, and let me say you want to view the page source. You want to view the page source. What I mean by the page source, that's like the code that is like working for this front end. The code that like what you can see on the screen. Yeah. You want to view the code that is written to enable this thing to show the way it's showing. So let's press Control U. Press Control U. You're going to see everything that has to do with that page. That's this Aka1 page. Now look at it. So imagine you're an individual, you have zero knowledge of programming. Like I mean zero. Zero means you don't understand full stop in programming language. This might not make sense to you. What you are seeing on the screen currently, look at all these things are there. They may not make sense to you. But if you are this type of person that okay, you understand a bit of HTML, nobody's asking you to write it yourself because even say ChatGPT is there to help us. Different AI tools are there to help us. But looking at it, can you understand what's going on here? If you can understand, then you are one step ahead. That's why when I want to answer the question of should we learn programming language before delving into this thing, I'll be like, it's not like it's 100% necessary. You can always skill through without it. Yeah, but having it is like giving you what upper hand. You get that's that about page source. Another way of going through your page source, you right click, then you right click, then you what view page source. You view page source. That's you are looking at the whole stuff that has to do with what that particular page. Now, apart from that, another very key area is you want to inspect the elements. What I mean by elements is like various elements, various things or various features that make up that page you are looking at. Various features that make up that page you are looking at. So this is inspect. You right click on any part of this. Don't right click on the hyperlink. Right click um you're going to see inspect. So you go to inspect. So I'm sure we can all see this thing. So now if I go to the area to this area, going to show the portion of code allocated for that area and click on this. It shows you the portion of code allocated for that. Let me scroll down. I click on this. like I was saying now, to inspect elements means is go like different sections, different to all these places. They're just trying to introduce. I'm just trying to introduce to you with security. Go into if you want to talk about it, that's one of the reasons why we are going to use it, we are going to learn it. It is very, very common. Yeah. And if you notice, what is most of the time very, very much targeted? Websites. Common attacks where we have the websites. That's what I mean, like common attack like SSL and like so that website. Talking about if you want to protect anything on the cloud, the interface between you and maybe the seller, most of the time, website. So anything that you are doing, you most likely want to mention website. That's why it's always like one very good target. And that's also one aspect whereby what they need cybersecurity guys. So you are fully I think I need to start doing things properly. Okay. Now in be it cybersecurity, be it any field, there is a proper workflow. There's a proper way to perform your task. Now for web security, let's say most web security standard, I'm talking about web application penetration testing. Please, if you have a pen, if there's any way you want to note all these things down, it's very, very good you note them down so you don't miss it because this aspect is very, 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 very vital. Okay. So the way we have different stages in anything we want to do. You see web application penetration testing. Web application penetration testing. It has the different stages and the different like let's call it workflow. Let's call it workflow. That's like series of workflow. If you want to do a comprehensive job, you don't want to miss something. There are things you must do. Take for example, now you want to rob a bank. You don't just wake up one morning and carry gun because of a sweating in your body. You go and rob the bank. No, you need to what properly plan, gather information first about that bank. By the time you've gathered the information, how many these things there, how many soldiers do we have, how many police do we have, how many doors are open. By the time you do that, you need to scan the premises. You don't just run. Okay, main gate is open. You run inside. I'm gonna start packing the money. No, you can stay from a distance, scan the area, scan the area. Next thing, after you've scanned the area, you've seen the place that is open. What do? You enter. That you gain the access, right? After you've entered, what do? You look for anywhere the money is located. If there is somebody there, I shouldn't be saying this. I don't know. That's the example that's just relatable. Let's just quickly switch it down to web security or web pen testing. They call it WAPS, in case WAPT, WAPS, web application penetration testing. Yeah. So now, what's the first stage? The first stage is reconnaissance. Reconnaissance. Can someone help me out? What is the meaning of reconnaissance? Okay, Temitayo, Ola, please unmute your mic and speak. What is the meaning of reconnaissance?
What, what I believe reconnaissance means is gathering information, doing surveys.
Correct. Do you agree with me that there can be passive and active reconnaissance?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I think okay, good. Yeah, agrees. Yes, there is active and there is passive. We've already talked about all this before when we're talking about AMAP. Yes. So that's the second thing you do after reconnaissance, after you've gathered information. The second thing you do is what is scanning. So like when I was explaining the scenario for that bank, the next thing is scanning. After scanning, when scanning means you got like identify vulnerabilities and all of that. So properly, if you want to conduct like a comprehensive job, I would actually advise that what you can write all these things down probably in your jotter and what let me you can write all these things down in your jotter. Then what when you do the first one, you tick it. There are some that you can merge together. You can merge one and two together. Let's say reconnaissance and scanning. You can reconnaissance and scanning. You can match them together. Once you've done this, you tick it. Next thing is what gain access. Gain access. Now, gaining access basically means we're still going to touch on this thing one after the other. We'll touch on this thing one after the other. And for each thing, there is a tool that you use, or there are a set of tools that you use. Please take note of that. For each, there is a tool or there are a set of tools that you use. And remember, I said the tool also is like a different ball game. You need to know how to use those tools very well. If it is, when we get there, we'll talk about it. But just know that if there's a particular tool that you believe this is one that is best for you, please be very good with that tool. Don't be jack of all trades, master of none. It's good. No one tool or no two or no a couple of them. Those ones should be like your best tools. That even when it comes to this thing, they will know you for it. Okay, good. Now we've talked about to gain access. We've talked about now next is what privilege escalation. What it means that what you are elevating whatever it is you whatever access you've gained, you want to gain higher privileges. You want to do more wonders. That one is not actually it's not all the time necessary. Sometimes when you get jobs from companies, when you get gigs, I'm just talking of when you get gigs, when you get gigs. Most of the time, for me, I don't know if it's for me or for others. For me, let me speak from my own experience. My own is just gain access. Let me get the flaws. Then I report the flaws. I might not really spend much time trying to escalate. No. So after that privilege escalation, what do you have? Post-exploitation. Then post-exploitation are the things that you do to ensure that you always enter. That's if you want to enter. This one is particularly for the bad guys. I don't really focus more on that. You see, focus more on 4, 5, 6. I don't really focus more on that. But you see, 1, 2, 3, very, very important. Then the last one is what cover your tracks. Definitely when you enter a site now, there are traces, all these log traces and likes of that. Take record of probably IPs that are used and stuff like that. So cover your tracks. So now let's start with the first one. First one is what? Recon. Recon, like he said, gathering of information. We have what passive, we have what active. What are the tools that we use for recon? Remember, I said something that for each one we use our tools. We already know of Google Docking, which Christiana explained explicitly. We know of the UIs, we know of the Shodan, we know of the which one? I think Mortego. I don't know if she mentioned it. I think Mortego is also part of that. So OSINT is basically you're gathering information. Let's quickly check something about okay, don't let us waste much time. We'll still get to more of this thing. Okay, let's check something about let's check who is let me share my screen. We'll see if we can use any of this thing. If you have your Kali with you, you can load it up. What I am doing. So let's just see if that whiz is going to give us something something reasonable. So while that one is being done, another thing we can do let's wait. This thing is taking time to load. I don't know why it's taking time. I don't know if it's loading or what. Once it loads, I'll just use the UIs. That's we just trying to gather information. So there's this popular guy we are going to be using. This is the site we are going to be using. This test PHP. Because that's the site that given to us to use. Can't use this website. Please. Let's just take note of that. This is the website that we're going to be using for majority of the stuff that we're going to be doing. Please look at what we have on the screen. That test PHP. So I'm going to load it up. I'm going to go there now. Just for you to know that that's what we're going to be using to draw stores and I expect to have opened an account with Post-Trigger because I just using Post-Trigger also, but it's not for today's class. So this is the website. This Post-Trigger.net. So while that one is loading up, expect this guy to load up. This our test PHP. Okay. While the test PHP is loading up, let me just use the who is here. I think it has a website. Yes. You can see this is the website for it. So aside using the website, if you still come and use the website is loading, you have to come and use the command that's open. You go there. Now I'm sharing my so that's the website for Whois. So you can always get information about a particular website. I'm sure we all know the way this thing um ordinarily websites should just have IPs, right? But because of we can't remember the IPs, we should have said that in networking class, but networking class will not allow us to say everything. Because individuals can't remember the IPs, what happens? Then there's always a name resolution. You get so instead of saying www.boniface.com, what do we say? Sorry, instead of let's my IP is 192.168.1.1. Instead of telling everybody to cram it, they go and cram it that you want to access Facebook now. Ordinarily, what some of us just use www.facebook.com. Very simple, right? But ordinarily, that's not how the team is. It's the IP address. So there's always a name resolution. It from the name, it goes to the resolves, then goes to the IP. So the IP that is actually the main thing, not the name. Now, this website is going to give us more information about that. Let's use one example. Let's check facebook.com. This PHP is not going. I'd have preferred to use this. Let's come here. Now, say you want to use that Whois, you just press Whois for anything. You can I just like changing to sudo su that's being an admin. So it doesn't block some of the things I want to do. Makes it easier for you to do whatever it is you want to do. Or even if I thought it's going to block, some of you may not understand if it blocks something. Some of you just say, it's not working. Sometimes we tell you that this thing that you're using, maybe error from not what the error is the error is coming from the fact that you're not like an admin. So now let's use that Whois. Remember, what do we want to do? We just want to gather information. This is like recon. We want to know more about the sites. Press enter. So this one is going to go. I don't know if you can see my screen. Oh goodness, you were not seeing the screen I was showing. Let me just make it share the entire screen. So it's sharing the entire screen. You can see anything that I'm doing. You can see it. Where am I? Where I am. Now, we did Whois for Facebook. Now, this is what the Whois is showing us. No match for Facebook.com. Okay, let's check out the one for test PHP. Come back to our Kali. Let's check out for test PHP. Okay, so let's see. Whois server is known for this kind of object. Let's go again. Let's use trace routes first of all, so we can see if we are going to attack it with the IP address. Cannot undo. I know what to remove. I'll take away the HTTPS protocol. Okay, good. You can see it's going now. Don't know if you can see it. Yes. Now, what's the IP address? It's just IP address that I want. 192.165.2, 44.22, 44.228.249.3. Control C to stop the process. Use Control C to stop the process. Now, this trace route means you already know the meaning of trace route. You want to send a request to this thing. Where and where is it going to go to before it gets to the server? The request comes back to you. So we are going with this IP address 44.228.249.3. So I'm going to create another terminal, split terminal vertically. So I have another terminal by the side. So I'm going to increase. So that's also doing recon about the website. Let's see, you know that already. Put your password. Then what do we do now? Now that we already know the IP address that we are working with, let's go and try that whois again. If it doesn't work, then you should know that you can always work with your web guy. So it's searching for results. Okay. Whois, let's try 44.228.249.3. Okay, let's go with that. So we want it to give us more information about that. So now after that is done, let's just assume we've gotten as much information as possible. That's plenty information I want. We've gotten as much information as possible. What's the next thing to do? Scanning and enumeration. What is it saying? Temporary failure in name resolution. Okay, let's leave that for that. Temporary failure in name resolution. Let's leave that for that. So I'm going to collapse this subterminal. Okay. Yes, good. Now the next stage is very important aspect, which is what? Scanning and enumeration. Now we can use different tools to scan. Different tools to scan. M is there. Which you already we've taught you. Nick 2 is there. We've not taught you, but it's a tool that is used for library listing. So follow me. I'll close this for now. Now let's close this page. Clear the screen. Okay. Now let's Let's use the first two, which is mmap. What I just want to be doing is I just want to know the version scan. It's just version scan I want to do. Can someone help me with the command for it? I know that is mmap definitely. For the timing, let's use T4 to make it faster, no time. Then it's just version scan I want to do. The version scan -SV for version scan. Test PHP, right? Test PHP. Are you familiar with Nmap? It's a tool that is what is a CLI based tool, and you know what CLI based tools are. CLI based tools that what when you want to use them, it's not be showing you GUI, it's not be showing you picture. It's just black screen. You play with your black screen, you get your results. And we'll clear from there. So now you can see the command nmap T4. Let me ask a question. Let me show we are going following. Can someone tell me what that T4 is doing there? That hyphen T4. What's it there for? Anybody? First to raise up the hand, I'll call the person. You can all see my screen. Okay, Olani, let's go. What's the T4 doing there?
It is the time taken for it to execute the command.
Okay, you can call it the timing or the aggressiveness. Thank you very much. What's the SV doing there, wizard? SV. What's the SV doing there? Wizard.
Right, just like this, like state scanning, like the version. Like the version.
Okay,
I want to scan the version.
Scan. That's correct. Yeah. So let's proceed. I just want to be sure like you guys are following. Okay, so press enter. We want to scan this thing. Now, while that is done, we're not going to wait for any of the results to show. While that one is doing it on the ground, we are continuing. So the next is NIC2. You will notice if you want to use NIC2, it will tell you to install it. So we're not going to try to use NIC2 here. I don't have NIC2. Do I have NIC2 here? No, I don't have NIC2 here. I barely use NIC2. So another one is what? Buster.